you've got to be willing and you've got to be brave enough, to use that sort of phrase, in the church to have unfiltered conversation outlets. If you're going to do an online ministry, you're going to have online campus or whatever, it can't just be broadcasting. It can't just be watch this. It has to have a space where we can have conversation. You got to have virtual hallways. And I know during COVID, when our team was trying to help, not the SALT team, but the other side of our sort of company, we were trying to help corporations figure out, how do you have hallway conversations in a virtual environment? And it was how do you break through that? I want to just say for a second here, JT on our team is crushing this concept, because I think before he joined our community or our staff, our community was far more broadcast, social, or media. And I've actually been able to watch him engage on a one-to-one level and sort of really connect on the back end. But, JT and I've even talked about this, that like we've seen a lot of social media has kind of frozen. Like, when was the last time you followed someone new? I could tell you of times when Twitter, X, I'd go on there and I'd find hashtags and I'd be like, who's going to SALT conference? And I'd create offline connections and, hey, we're going to go hang out or connect or whatnot. And that just doesn't happen anymore. And I think there is something beautiful. I don't know if JT, you want to speak to some of the sort of stories that have come out of like the people that you've interacted with, and, the messages that you'll very quickly bring somebody into just a DM just to have a conversation that kind of goes from online to offline.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would just say, like, when we're talking about community and building community, I think this goes for whether you're online or offline. It takes mutual effort, and that's tough to curate and to like, so I always say, like, someone's got to go first. And so it might as well be me. And so that's kind of been my philosophy with social media, is like, say the thing, reach out to the person, and be the first to like, be like, hey, I'm here. This is kind of, something we're saying or talking about, and maybe you identify with it, maybe you don't, but let's have a conversation. And I think if you come with it from a point of wanting to connect and wanting to help and be there for people, like you guys have done with Discord, which I'm also on, which is a great resource and a great community to be a part of. But if you come at it with a heart of like, hey, how can I pour into you? Like, that will impact your metrics and your numbers way more than if you focus on your metrics and your numbers. And so thank you for saying that, Luke. That's so kind. I appreciate that. But
I want to double down on the value point that JT just made. He essentially just said, we all long to connect. Someone has to make a first move. Why not be me? I mean, if anything, that should hopefully encourage you as you're listening to this, going, who do you need to be reaching out to? I want to tell this real quick story. There's two churches here in Nashville that I'm good friends with, both tech directors, and they share a driveway. And that's maybe strange, but that's what happens in Tennessee. There's so many churches, they just share driveways, and they're like right next to each other, and they don't even know each other. And I remember one of them telling me, oh yeah, I wish we could borrow that church's, talking about the church that's literally next door to them that they share a driveway with. I wish we could borrow their lift to change out our Christmas stuff. And I'm like, here's his phone number. Go text the guy. I'm sure he'd be all for it if they're not using it. And he's like, no, I don't know. Like, he's been a tech director there forever. We've never connected. I'm like, you've never connected because neither of you have texted. There's the phone number. Go take action. And so it's like, who in your town, who in your community, who in your network, whether it's online or offline, do you just need to reach out and go, hey, let's grab coffee. Hey, I saw this thing. And I think encouragement or praising someone for their work or just giving them an attaboy is maybe a really safe first step too, to just be like, hey, love what you guys are doing. How can we put wind underneath your sails,
For sure.